Hello everyone, welcome to DocEngage. This is Jayashree. In this video, I'm going to tell you about what is Pharma Invoice, how to create Pharma Invoice and receive the payments, and next, how to transfer stocks from one care center to another care centers, and how to manage your expenses and assets. So first, let me tell you what is Pharma Invoice. Whenever a prescription is written by a doctor, that prescription will be sent directly to the pharmacy, from where the pharmacist will log in with his account and see the pharma invoice. This is the dispense queue which the doctor has written the prescription. All that data will show here. All the prescription which he has written will show here. We can, by clicking on this actions button, we can create a invoice, which means I have dispensed this, I have given all the medicines which is written in this prescription, and create a invoice for that. See, this is the medicine which is there in the prescription, and it also has dolo which is written custom in the custom medicine field. Let us say custom medicines means in that field we will be writing medicines which is not there in the list, so which means the patient has to buy it from the outside the organization, which means he'll have to buy it from the other hospital, other pharmacies. So that is why that the name is not showing here. This is the quantity which he has ordered for the Foliatrax 10 mg tablets. Now, this is the total amount. I can, if the patient is ready to pay the payment now itself, I can click on receive payment, which will redirect me to the payment page. The invoice is created successfully. So here I'll be selecting the mode of payment. So if the patient is paying through cash, I'll select through cash and save. Now the payment is received. I have dispensed this medicine. Or else if you want to add any pharma invoice manually, if the patient is directly coming to the pharmacy and taking the medicine, you can click on add pharma invoice, select the patient name. So let us say this patient name, I'll select Ramesh and the care center. And if you want select provider, I'll select provider name as Dr. Ankit, and I can see this complete product names, and this is the available quantity and batch number is written here, and what available quantity, everything is shown here. So let us say I want to give him foliate. So what is the quantity? I want to give him 30 medicines. So 30 and save. So this is the quantity and price, total price including tax, it is showing here. If I click on save, this invoice is created. That invoice will show here in the list page. You can also see the invoice in the invoice list page. These are the pharma invoices which we have created, and we need to receive the payment. And the status, it will show if this is invoiced or completed, whatever the payment is received. Whichever this invoice has payment has been completed, so it is showing as completed. If I want to receive payment, I can receive payment from here, select the mode of payment, then save. So the status changed from invoice to completed. So this is how you will receive the payments. So let me go back to this pharma invoice. I have told you this is the dispense queue, which has to be dispensed to the patient. So then pharma invoice. Next, reports. In the reports, you can see the dispense details. These are the medicines which we have dispensed. By the product name, it is showing that this is the Dolo 650. I have dispensed date and who is the patient and the provider name. So all the data is showing here. You can, if you want to download the reports, you can download the reports by clicking on download. You can print the reports as well. So this is how you add the pharma invoice and receive the payments. Next, transfer. Transfer is basically used to transfer the stock from one case center to another case center. Let us say, for example, there is one case center A and another case center B. Now, the case center A doesn't have the stock. For example, that case center doesn't have stock for this Dolo. Let us say they don't have the stock for Dolo, then but they want to dispense the Dolo right now. So then we can send a request to the another case center which is case center B. From case center A, I'm sending the request to case center B to send the stock to the case center A. At that time, if you click on this add case center, this add transfer request, it is showing. Yeah, I can select case center A name as Colombo Asia. I'm selecting case center B as Colombo Asia Whitefield. And the date, I am giving today's date and timing. I want to request them Dolo. So let us say indent quantity, I want 50. 50, I want 50 tablets right now. I can write the notes as urgent. So I'm writing this, I need this urgently. So I'm writing urgent and save. So the request has been saved and sent to Columbia Whitefield, and the status is still pending. If you are giving the configuration as approval, then you need to approve. Sorry, if this is pending, that status is pending because they have not fulfilled your transfer request yet. So how to send transfer the product from the another case? Now I have sent from case center A to case center B the request I have sent. Now the case center 2 has to approve the request and send the stock. For that, the case center 2 will log in with their account and see uh, they'll come to this transfer section, and this is the request they have right now. So if I so here they have the request. So transfer. If I click on this transfer from Columbia Asia Whitefield to Columbia Asia, which means this was the case center B, and this was the case center A which has sent the request. So they have requested for 50, and we have thousands available with us. So I will approve them 50. If you want to send more, you can send more, or you can send less quantity as well based on your requirement, then transfer. Now that transfer has been done, that from request to transfer, it directly came here, and see that it is showing here that source, it is sending from Whitefield to K center B to K center A, it has sent, and this is the transfer details, and the status is also changed from pending to fulfill. You can even download the reports, transfer summary, and transfer details also. So this is how you do the transfer. So next I'll show you how to add expenses. So expenses is basically, for example, let us say you have spent 50,000 on inventory. So therefore, to maintain a record, you can add expenses here. So I can select the case center in the Columbia Asia. In the category, I can select business. I have business category, which is added. For that, you need to do configuration. I'll show you that in this video itself. And then you can say what is the cost. Let us say I have spent 60,000. I'm giving this 60,000, and payable invoice. If you have invoice reference numbers, you can add reference invoice numbers, and paid to. So let us say you have paid 16,000 to this vendor, which is Pharma Sons, and you have paid. If you want to add notes spent on medicine, spent on medicines, and save. This expense is added. This will be easy for you to have a complete finance like reports for the expenses. Then category list. Here you can add the category. Just now I showed you business category was there. Let me add one more new category. From here, let us say inventory. I'll write in notes here. Inventory amount spent, and select the status as activate, save. So here category has have been added. If you want to add any subcategories, you can add the subcategories, which will show here in the categories. Wait, just a second. Here in the subcategory, it is showing. You can, if you add any subcategories, it will show here in the subcategories. So this is how you manage your expenses. Then assets. What is assets? Like assets are basically whatever the equipments you have in your hospital will become your assets. For example, bed, wheelchairs, oxygen cylinders, all the assets you have will be all the instruments you have, chairs, all the up- in items you have in your hospital will be your assets. So to add assets, I'll click on this category. I can write category as like beds, equipment name. So let us say I'll write this as rental, and this is a deluxe backrest. It is an equipment. I'll write assist ID care center. So I in the Columbia Asia, this is the asset. This is the equipment which is there. And if you want to write model number, you can write all the details and save. Okay, I'll change the color from, so change. See, this has been added. You can add more assets. Whichever the equipments which are there in your hospital will become your assets. To maintain a complete record for that, you can see the reports, all assets, all the reports you can see and in the report sections. I hope you all understood this video. Thank you.